Welcome to the Studio 70 podcast. Our goal is for you to join in on real behind-the-scenes conversations about our projects and the people who make them happen. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to the Studio 70 podcast. So on this episode, we have some very special guests. It's me, Chase Ritter, Michael O'Leary.
Hi, I'm Michael O'Leary, as said.
And me, Nataly Goettelmann.
Nataly Goettelmann. So we are on this podcast today because we are some of the three oldest people in the program. We've been here the longest. So we're excited to give you our input on the program and its history. So, Michael, do you maybe want to go and start off with your first impression of Studio 70?
Yeah, of course. So I've been at the King's Academy since the second grade. I moved here in 2013, and I joined Studio 70 beginning of freshman year. I took it first semester class, so I am now the first person to get to film 8, which I think is really funny. But yeah, so it was film 1 with Mr. DeMoss. He was a brand new teacher back then, so his teaching was, well, I mean, I don't think he's gotten any better. So it was about the same. No, I'm kidding. He's a great teacher. But of course, things were pretty awkward. You know, we were all very, first of all, young. It was very strange. Like, we were all just trying to learn this new thing. We were over in the classroom, which is now a math classroom. And yeah, it was just, we had like so little and yet we did so much. And there were a bunch of people in there that I only saw in that class, but it was a good start. And I really appreciate what Mr. DeMoss has done for me in that film 1 class. And I learned a lot, so it was fun.
All right, Nataly, what about you?
Lit. Okay. My first year was like Mr. DeMoss is also first year. You refer back to episode 1 for the listeners. So basically, I was a freshman, and this was his first year teaching photography, and I was just taking photography because I was like, oh, might as well take photography. That'd be fun. And I mean, I thought he was like so like amazing, and then he like knew so much because I've never like learned anything about like cameras, movies, anything, nothing like that. So it was just like so crazy to me, and now I'm just like, oh, he's an idiot. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm
He
kidding.
knows
He's
nothing.
still like
testimonies.
one of the best teachers I've ever had, including Prenti and King and Forster. But even though I've never really had him as a teacher, but yeah. Anyways, sorry.
We
First
love you,
impressions
DeMoss.
was that the like program was like really good, and that I always thought like that it was like a like long lasted thing, and like then I found out it was like pretty new when we were freshmen. Like I think when we were freshmen, the juniors like when they were freshmen, that was like the first year it like started, right?
I think so, yeah. It may have even been the seniors, because that was when we
Yeah, no,
joined.
you're
That
right,
was the
you're
year
right.
before we did Fountain of Youth, or I guess they did.
So I think when we were freshmen, those seniors, when they were freshmen, that was when Studio 70 like started. So
Yeah.
literally it was like 4 years old.
Yeah, and before that, Mr. Prenti was playing Mr. Snyder in Newsies, and he was in the IT department when we were in like 7th grade.
Yeah, I remember renting
That's
computers from him.
crazy.
Yeah, it's so weird because now he's the director of digital media.
Yeah, and he's so like Papa Prenti, like he knows so much.
Yeah.
Like
He
it's
wears
crazy.
vests now. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, 3-piece suits.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so basically I had a pretty good first impression. I am really happy to be in this program, and yeah, that's it. That's all I think.
Yeah. Well, so I started in DeMoss's photography class second semester of my freshman year. I really enjoyed that. And I remember Michael and I have been friends since like 4th grade. So he was telling me all about Fountain of Youth, and I was like, hey, maybe this is someone I want to try. So I took film 1 with DeMoss and Nataly.
Yes.
And we made some interesting short films.
Were you part of Bozo?
I was not part of Bozo.
Bozos.
I made a film called Wendy's.
Oh yes, that was
less
so
than a
good.
page where a man comes into Wendy's without a uniform and just instantly dies.
It was a beautiful story. It
was pretty good.
It was
You
fantastic. We used a green screen. Yeah,
it
visual
didn't work?
effects.
Yes.
No, it worked.
No, it worked.
Not
It
well,
worked.
but it worked.
Okay.
I used
well,
a green screen for Bozo too.
Yeah.
We had a car accident, and the girl in the car like flies like
a car accident?
hundreds of feet in the air.
Please
in
say
the
this is on
sky.
YouTube. I need to see
And
this.
I don't
no,
think
it's
so.
not.
It's
It
on some
will
hard
never be on
drive
YouTube.
somewhere in one
It's
of
on
these
my.
drawers.
I have it
the
on my
hard
iPad.
Okay.
You can watch it.
We'll
after.
have a watch
But
party.
literally,
I
the
don't have
green
Wendy's.
screen that we had was on this wall, and there used to be a plug like in the middle of the wall.
Yeah.
And so the girl, meaning me, who was like flying in the air at the green screen in the sky, there's like a plug in the sky.
And keep in mind, during this film class, this was before we had any LED walls. And
Yeah.
one of the last, I'm still upset at Demas for this. One of the last days, Demas has us walk in to the room and he goes, "Does anybody know what this thing is?" And he points at this weird black screen.
Yes, I remember.
I was
that.
like, "Is it a big TV?" And he goes, "No." Which, come to find out, that's actually exactly what it is. So
yeah, it's literally.
but
I remember
yeah,
I was like, why don't you just use a screen?
so yeah, that was our first foray into visual effects, was at the end of film 1.
Yeah.
And then I tried to take film 2 and they wouldn't let me, so they moved me up into film 3. And my first ever film was a film that Michael directed with Julian Bonilla called
gosh.
Under Control.
It was not under control, as the title would show.
This film has gone down as one of the most chaotic films we've ever done. The first day I've ever been on a Studio 70 set, like a real one, I dropped our entire lens case on the concrete and
Open?
all of the lenses fell out onto the concrete.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Did they break? Did any of them break?
No, none of them broke.
Oh, you're
But
lucky.
yeah, but that was one of the scariest moments in Studio 70 history for me.
That's
Oh my gosh,
crazy.
dude.
Yeah.
Over the summer during, I think it was either Fountain of Youth. I think it was Fountain of Youth. I dropped the main camera because I was on camera for that film. It was on the tripod. And one of the legs wasn't like locked in correctly. The camera tips over,
Oh my gosh.
and the Ursula, or I think it was just
Ursa.
a black.
The Ursa?
The Ursa. Or
the
the-
Ursula.
Oh
Ursula.
my
I don't
gosh,
know.
get this guy out of here.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Little Mermaid. No, the camera literally tipped over, and Mr. Prenti was silent.
Oh my God.
There was no yelling. There was no like oh my gosh. It was just, all right, let's make sure this works. I was terrified because there's a difference between someone going and it's like, okay, whatever. They're just silence.
Yeah.
The entire
Oh my
set was
gosh.
quiet.
It's one of those I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, at
It is-
least you didn't hit one
it
of their
hurt
cars.
to the core, man. Oh my gosh.
Well, so that's how me and Michael broke something. Natalie, what have you broken on a film set?
So basically, we didn't get to set yet. I haven't broken any equipment yet, at least as I can remember. I don't know, but I did crash into Mr. Demas's car.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I never heard about
So
this.
basically, you didn't.
No.
This guy lives
You
under a
weren't there.
rock. Everybody else has.
You hit you hit Bethany?
Yes.
Oh my god.
We were
The
so
Mazda?
basically it was one of the Reco days, and no Flamingo days. Sorry, we were at one of the Flamingo days at the at PBA, and I'm parking in the parking garage, and I see Mr. Moss's car. And I'm like, oh, let me go park next to Mr. Moss. And so I go and I pull in, and I just hear don't, and I was like, oh my gosh. And meanwhile, okay, I'm not gonna say names. People are in the car, and so I stop the car and I walk out and I look, and it's Mr. Moss was in the car, and he just looks at me and was like, and I was like, did I hit the car? And I come around and I look, and there's like a big like scratch like on the back.
Of the Mazda?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's not that big. Like
Isn't it
if
still
you just
there?
looked at his, it's still there. If you just looked at his car, and you would just think that was like you wouldn't notice at first, but then if I like pointed it out, you'd be like,
Aw,
oh.
so he'll take a piece of
So
you
I like
wherever he
backed
goes.
out. I reparked. I like was so sad. I actually felt so bad.
You will never-
I need to get him like a good like end of the year like gift. to,
It's a
like,
new
make up for
car.
that.
Yeah, you should just get him a new
Imagine.
car. Give him the Jeep. Yeah. I think the second worst offense is when I almost killed Natalie on set.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys all hit me with that. Was it like a ladder?
No, it was me when I shoved the boom pole into the fan, and then the fan blade came off
So you've almost killed me twice.
and went towards. I almost killed you twice. I have nothing against you.
There's
I just
nothing
wanna-
I love more than the picture of Eddie's face when the fan blade went down. It just looks like somebody just like shot at him.
That
just
was
like-
so funny.
he's
I
like-
remember I'm recording for BTS, and boom, I just hear the what's it called, the fan
The
break,
fan
and I literally I'm like. I look to my left, like on the floor, and the piece of the fan is just there, like next to my foot. I was like, oh my gosh.
If she was like an inch over, her head would have been
Off.
slapped.
And keep in mind,
Decapitated.
this was Ryan Kavanaugh's
House.
and he was the director of this project.
I thought it was his grandparents' house.
No, that's his house.
That was his house.
Yeah, that was in his garage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny.
Yep.
That's,
I remember texting. I texted Ryan when he was in LA. I was like, "Hey, do you have a picture of your fan in your garage? I need it for the documentary."
Yeah.
so funny.
Mistakes were made.
I remember on the first Grey Trials film, I was carrying a ladder from our equipment room into the studio, and Demas was like, "Hey, do you need any help?" And I was like, "No, I think I'm good. Just let me know if I hit anything." And so we're a Christian school. We have spiritual directors here, and one of them is Mr. Bartz. And I turned a corner. Mr. Bartz was one of our actors, and all I hear from behind me is Demas go, "Oh, you just hit the director of student ministries with a ladder." It's like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah, I think you guys were moving a not a ladder. It was the dolly track, and you guys are all walking, and then you're like, "Oh, move right," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And you guys like hit my leg.
Oh,
I remember I
yeah,
had,
that
like
was
a
rough.
huge scratch, and it was like
Yeah.
it turned to a
That
bruise.
dolly
It
was
so bad.
mean.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Well, those
But,
are our memories
yeah.
of us breaking things. Does anybody have any favorite memories that they wanna share?
Favorite memory?
I can start off. I think one of my like favorite like something I always remember from 270 was like the spring break trip to Atlanta. That was really fun. That was like it wasn't last year, it was the year before, our sophomore year. That was really fun. Like we were all at the hotel and we took those like vans and we were listening to music in the van and we learned not a lot.
We learned about wood blocks.
I'm kidding. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah, that is the thing is
That
we
was
went to
really
Trilla
fun.
Studios and everything
Yeah.
they taught us. We're like, we already know this. We go to
Yeah.
King's.
pros.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like we're like so like crazy. I don't know, but like it was still a good experience to like see the Marvel stuff and get that tour.
No, we're blessed. We're
Yeah.
blessed
We're
because
very blessed.
we are so ahead of the curve when it comes to every other kid that wants to go into film. So, like for example, Trinity, she got accepted to USC,
Yeah,
which is the
insane.
best. I'm pretty sure it's the number one school
Tied
for
with
film.
NYU. And Christy got into NYU.
Yeah. So we have two
Yeah.
students going to the number one schools for film because of what they
country.
know here.
Yeah.
And that's just because like Parenti, King, Damas, Forrester, Mr. Appleby, we all have just such a high level of excellence here at the
Yeah.
King's Academy where we're just, and it just feels so natural. Like
And I think it's also because like it feels so natural too because they pour so much of like themselves like of their lives into us too. Like I learned so many life lessons also from like
Mhm.
Studio
Yeah,
70, not even
definitely.
just like
They're mentors.
yeah, like I feel like I've like I don't know, like if it weren't for like being in this program, like I probably wouldn't be like a Christian.
yeah, I
probably,
came to
like-
Christ because of Mr.
Yeah.
Parenti, you know?
Yeah.
And he's just had such like a positive benefit on like
Yeah,
all of us.
Wow, I just
Like,
got,
I
a little
guess-
teared.
Do we want to
Aw.
do we want to
Oh, he has,
Oh, he has no idea what we're talking about.
He's
Gushing
gonna
over
love
him.
context?
He's gonna
Mr.
love it.
Parenti is in the other room working on emails.
Yeah, we
But
can see him through a window.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know what's going on. But yeah, no, just they've all poured into our lives and they've really not only shaped us into great filmmakers, but as you said before, just great people. I feel like
Yeah.
all of us have grown
I agree.
because of it.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
that's
Michael, do
crazy.
you have a specific memory that you
Man, I'm
want to
trying
point out?
think. I guess I would say, honestly, the Fountain of Youth was just overall a very fun experience because I had taken film 1 and 2 before that because it was the summer between 9th and 10th grade, if I'm correct, right? Or what-
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know. It was just such a strange experience because every day was an adventure. Like, because everything was shot on location, I was like trekking. I'm just like this little boy trekking through the woods with all of these like huge, like, okay, like side tangent, like just for like a 1 second. All of the seniors then looked so like adult and like old, and now I'm looking
Right.
around at the seniors.
Yeah,
we look
we're
like
kids.
babies. Like
Yeah.
what the heck?
We don't seem
So-
like seniors.
Yeah, it's so weird. But I'm in the woods surrounded by these like gruff men, and we're all just hanging out in the woods. I'm like trekking through there with a camera in my arms that costs more than me. And I'm just like, this is just so strange. And the people that were there, like Lena and Max, they're all off to college now, of course. And like my sister was a part of it too. It was just so fun to drive to and from because we all carpooled. And I don't know, it was just such an eye-opening experience of, whoa, this is what film could be like. It could be, and it doesn't have to be like a hard job that's stressful. It can be an adventure and like a fun experience every day for a whole summer. And yeah, it was tiring, but we had so much fun. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
That's
that's
crazy.
one of the other great things about Studio 70 is that we're not in a classroom. We're
Yeah.
doing it. That's just we learn by
Yeah.
By just
hey, how do you make a feature film? Well, let's try it.
We
It's
make
like-
one. Yeah.
and I mean, we've made it this far without too many injuries.
Yeah.
Just her leg.
Just
Other
her
than that.
leg and almost her head.
and
Almost.
and Mr. Demoss's car. Other than
Yeah.
that, we're
Oh.
good.
Yeah.
That
Poor
doesn't
Bethany.
count. That's a car.
Well, I think my favorite memory was we had a skeleton crew day on Echo 10-4. We were filming up in Jupiter in a wildlife preserve. And it was actually the ending scene, or not the ending scene, but the climax of Echo 10-4 where Stella's chasing,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was the
Andre,
race.
and yeah. And I had to. I was the second assistant director at that time on the project, and Isabel was my first assistant director. And I had to go up to her and beg her. I was like, "Listen, I know there's no reason for me to be on this day, but can I please go?" Because it sounded like so much fun, just like a
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
people out, like just in the woods
I remember I
filming.
was so
It sounded like
offended. I was like, I can't believe I'm not there.
it sounded like Fountain of Youth. And it was just Ryan Winters, me, Isabel, riding in the back of Mr. Martin's truck bed, going out trying to find places just in the woods to shoot the most important scene of the movie. And there was one point where this truck started coming back to our camp, and we thought we were getting robbed. And so we decided to just go back and try and catch this guy robbing us. And we get back there, we weren't getting robbed, but our pub subs for the day had been completely destroyed by ants. It was just the entire thing was just black. It was just
Oh.
covered in ants.
Like, but like that much ants?
Yeah.
That's
It was
crazy.
And we unwrapped it and then threw the leftovers in the woods. And then we had the rest of the subs that had been like melted and like, because I mean, it's just out in the Florida summer heat for the whole day,
Yeah.
the humidity. So yeah, it was a hard day, and it was messy, but it was just so much fun, just like being out there, just like improvising everything.
Yeah.
So that I think that was one of my favorite memories.
I feel like that's a common kind of theme in all of these memories of like, it's not really like, yeah, we're film students, like we make movies, but the memories aren't just the movies. It's like the people
Right,
and the
yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. That
It's-
was like my favorite part about like the trip, because like I was with everybody. Like we had so much fun. Like
Yeah. And it's like for every shot that we have in the film, we have 10 stories to go along with it. It's
Right.
like, and we're doing so many takes of this stuff and the rehearsals. It's like the amount of time that actually like the audience gets to see is like nothing compared to how much time we're spending on set just with each other.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. Well, we've been in this program for a little bit. We're on our way out. There's a whole new generation coming up. So,
Boy.
guess what do you guys want to talk about with like what you've seen and how the program's grown, where you think it's going to go, what we're doing in our, I guess, final hour in this program.
So the King's Academy encouraged us to try new things, and so I did exactly that. I did theater, I did film, I did not much else, but that's totally a lot of things. And because of that, there were a lot of conflicting dates where I had to kind of play ball with like both games, both like theater and film, and try and find a healthy balance to them, because I enjoyed both of them a lot. But like, theater is like you have rehearsals every day, and with film you have whole weekends that are blocked out, and sometimes those can conflict, and that's just how scheduling works. It's impossible to make both of them work together because they're fundamentally just like made to be so different, So because of that, there were a lot of days that I would miss of like actual shoot, like production days, and oh my gosh, the amount of FOMO you get, because like on the Monday of the next day, like, oh, how was the film? Everyone talks about how fun it was. Everyone talks about how much like funny stories, funny like happenings and stuff, and you're just not there. Oh my gosh, it sucks. So I had the King's Academy was doing Peter Pan, and because of that, the closing weekend was also the weekend of the last film we did this year, and because of that, I needed to do something for class credit so that I would, get a grade for the class, because at the end of the day, it is a class. And I took on writing for the director, and that means I wrote the story and then I didn't get to experience it. And I hear it was really fun, and I'm kind of sad because, I missed out on it completely. So,
That was so much fun. Like we took Kirsten's dad's boat out, and we went to Big Money Island, and so basically I didn't really see any of the filming getting done. The whole time me and Tyler were just Tyler Hodges, we're just cooking burgers on this like portable like little grill, yeah. And we had so much fun, and we were just making the burgers. I was playing music on my phone. I at one point was just like collecting seashells, and then like so when they started filming, they did this one part where they had to make like this little like sign out of the seashells in the sand.
Yeah.
And so I was helping G with that and collecting a bunch of like seashells. That was fun.
Yeah. So our last film in Studio 70 was a island adventure. And so basically it sort of operated like a vacation. And Stuart Lewis and I were on sound, and it almost operated like it almost felt like Atlanta again, where it was like, okay, we're filming, but we're also like on this like tropical paradise during the whole set time.
You're giving me major FOMO right now.
Listen,
oh my
well,
gosh.
we wouldn't have the story without you. So
Yeah, it's true. We wouldn't have been able to like
That's so fun though.
do anything.
I mean, like I really wanted to craft a script around Kirsten's idea, and also just something that would be fun for all the seniors. And so I hope it was fun. I hope it was dumb and silly.
it definitely was. It was a good sending off gift.
I agree. It was a great day. Yeah, the last day for me. I wasn't on the first day, but
Yeah.
I think it was a good weekend.
But
So, what's everybody's plans for after graduation? Are you incorporating Studio 70 into your life at all, or
I think you
know?
should go first because you have the most crazy one, Chase.
So, after graduation, I have one day off, and then I will be co-directing our summer film, Iron Dusk. So, it's been nice to, I've been assistant directing on the films in the past, and I've done, some producing in the past, but I haven't really gotten to direct. I did one short film, but nothing really outside of that. So, I think it'll be nice to be able to try directing for a feature film. Oh, and then so after we're done with Iron Dusk, I'll be enlisting in the Army. So that'll be my
Congratulations.
yeah.
Thank you for your
Luckily, I
service.
should be out west, so I may be able to see Perenni and the Studio 70 crew when they come to Vegas next year.
Yeah. So let's what are you doing?
Okay,
Madame.
my plans are. Fortunately, I can't do the summer film because I gotta make some money. So I'm getting hopefully a job at Garage at the mall, and then I'm gonna be heading off to SCAD in Savannah for college in the fall. And yeah, I have
What
a
is SCAD?
roommate. SCAD is I should say the full name. Savannah College of Art and Design. I'm gonna be going there for film, and maybe minoring in either like business, like entrepreneurship, or like photography. So yeah.
SCAD is I think number 8, I think, or what is it in listings of film schools?
I think
It's pretty high up there.
Yeah, I think it's number 8.
It's also a growing school.
Yeah,
It's
no.
very-
So I think SCAD's 15 and Emerson, which I did get into. Sorry, subtle flex.
You got an Emerson?
Yeah.
Congrats.
Emerson's 6.
Oh wow.
I think so. That's what the TK was.
Yeah, but SCAD's growing right now. I mean, we already have the conversation.
Yeah, that's
with
why.
Memory.
I mean, both schools were like it was a really hard battle to choose between, but I like SCAD because it seems like very innovative and just seems like a great school. And also Savannah, it's closer. I'll be able to drive up and down, and a lot of my friends are going to FSU and Gainesville, so I'll be able to drive there because it's only like 2.5, 3 hours, I think.
Yeah. And
So
Boston
it's
is
obviously
cool.
like even though like maybe you can hate on this, it's the more comfortable option. I just think I'll have like a better time if I'm like and also it's still a great school. So
yeah.
What about you, Michael?
Yeah, I guess I can piggyback off of the comfortable choice. So for the summer, I did not sign up for the summer film. I wanted to get a part-time job, but I'm hoping that I can show up kind of like a half the time kind of thing, like Monday,
Yeah,
Wednesday,
hopefully I'll
Friday,
be
or
allowed
Tuesday,
to
Thursday, or
visit some
something like
days.
that. Something like that. I just love to be a part of the project. I already talked to Mr. Prenti, and he said I could do that. And yeah, no, I just hope to be there just to hang out. I don't need to do anything crazy. I've done all of the fun roles that someone could do on a film set, so I don't need to do anything crazy. I'll stand in the back. I'll help out. I know that there's going to be a lot of new kids on this project. I overheard from Zane talking about, he's like, there's so many new, like, young students that are joining us for that project.
Yeah.
And I really want to help and be a part of, like, the growing and developing of these new film students, because I think it's really important that we pour into the younger generations as we are on our way out, because we learn so much from our years. Let's make it a little easier on them and teach them about what we know. But yeah, so during the summer, I'd like to get a part-time job somewhere. I was thinking of driving pizzas around. And then in the fall, I will be attending UCF.
Yes, go Knights.
Yeah, go Knights, University of Central Florida in Orlando. I picked it because I have family in Orlando. My sister's going to UCF currently. And it also saves my family a lot of money with the Florida by Futures. I got the 70%. And yeah, I had another choice of Ohio State, which, as a matter of fact, is a pretty good school for film. I saw their facilities when I visited. They have really great stuff. But I ultimately chose UCF because UCF is in Orlando, to where even if I do decide to do film, which is not currently the plan, I currently am doing something business related just because, I'd like to try new things. But if I do try film again later down the line, Orlando is a way better place to be than Columbus, Ohio, because there's not much film going on in Columbus. But in Orlando, you got the parks right there. So you already have connections with Disney Orlando. So I think it's a great place to be for film.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess what are some changes that you all have seen in the program since you've been here? Whether it be the Innovation Center or just like the format of how we've done things. Just maybe something you guys want to highlight.
Prenti does attendance, and I don't like it.
Yes, bro. I have 2 tardies.
How dare he?
Well, I'm a good boy. I show up to class on time.
I guess some changes was the Innovation Center. I can mention that. It's just, it feels so different every day. Like, I used to be in that classroom, which is a math classroom now, as you said earlier. We used to go to that classroom every day and then be like, oh, time for picture time or film time. And we walk over to the studio and do stuff in the studio. And then we got an LED wall, and then I had no idea what it was. And then we learned how to use that. And then we were like, oh, we're getting a new building. So we got the new building, and the classroom was just like not our classroom anymore. And yeah, now we have the new building. It's sick.
It's so weird. We do class in the same room that there is a giant
LED wall.
LED wall the size of like a
3
bus.
elephants.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, that'd be a
It's
really
a
big
very
boat.
interesting standard of measure.
Or not boat.
It's like
bus.
a million pennies.
It's like Americans using anything except like actual measuring. It's like 300 cheeseburgers.
It's like a very large American flag.
Yeah, exactly.
3 elephants.
That is probably an accurate measurement.
Each like
Panel
panel
is
is
about
an
an
elephant.
elephant.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Height and width wise, like tail out.
I
Yeah.
stand by it. I guess, Natalie, how has the Innovation Center maybe impacted how we do films? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I guess since we got the bigger wall, we like use the wall a little bit more for our films than we would for like other, like before we had the big wall. This wall we still used a lot for like Great Trials. Like a lot of Great Trials is on the smaller wall, right?
Yeah.
And so something that's better is that the resolution on the bigger wall is a lot better. And
It just makes it look more realistic, so it's
Yeah.
more feasible. Also, with how long it is, we can
It's-
just
yeah.
do like a tracking shot.
yeah, we can do like a big like running shot of somebody like. You're, like
We did that for Great Trials 7, the final fight scene. We had like one huge light in the corner with like
Yeah.
a big, what are those called? Light box or whatever. The huge one.
Softbox.
Yeah, softbox. Huge softbox on it, just a bunch of light. And we were running around as they were doing a lightsaber fight. It was very, very fun.
Yeah. And also like new staff like Mr. Appleby and Mr. Forster. For me, Mr. King too, because he's not new now, but like since I was a freshman, like he wasn't there my freshman year, or was he? Was he there our 10th grade year?
He
No.
joined us.
Oh, yeah, he
during
was?
Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, he met. Yeah.
Oh, he was. Okay, maybe I didn't have him until my second. I'm forgetting my order of things, but yeah. So I think like adding all of that staff like definitely helped. Like I love seeing all of them every day too.
Yeah.
They're just great people, honestly.
Michael, what about you? What's something that you've seen that has changed over the years that you want to highlight?
I would say I really enjoy the people that are now a part of film, and especially the younger kids that I see coming in. Because, like, I remember when I was a freshman in film, I was really intimidated by the older kids. I think it's partly because they look like grown men, and we don't look like grown men anymore. But also,
Well, we were also like 13 years old.
yeah.
So.
I was so intimidated by them, and they kind of there's nothing wrong with this, but they were a very close knitted group because they grew up in the for the word, they grew, that whole group of seniors, they all grew up together in film. Like they were there since the beginning, so they were a very tightly knit group. To where, as a young, kind of introverted kid, it was kind of hard for me to get my foot in the door with them, which is mostly my fault. But I didn't really get to know those really like the old seniors. I didn't really get to know them, and now I'm looking back at like grade trials like 7. I remember just talking to these random sophomores and freshmen that I didn't really know very well, and just learning about their lives and really trying to pour into them. And I saw like all of the seniors and like juniors were really trying to like pour into this next generation, show them things. Oh, hey, you're doing this right or wrong, or oh, you're doing a great job, or oh, you could work on this a little bit, or just getting to know them in the first place. I think that's really important because, like I said before, our biggest memories aren't the films, it's the people and the experiences. And you can't have good people and experiences without pouring into this next generation to show them what we do and teach them about how things work here. And I really enjoy the Christ-centered environment that we have, because I think it's a very healthy, faith-based environment that we're in, and it's beautiful to see how all of us have so much faith, and it's wonderful to see.
Yeah,
I agree.
it's excellent.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things that's happened in Studio 70 recently has been our new Real Craft series, where we're bringing in guest speakers who are actually in the industry to come and talk to us. So just last week we had Raquel Stevens, who she's Selena Gomez's best friend, and she produced the documentary about Selena Gomez that everybody was crazy about last year. Just having the opportunity to learn from those people has sort of added to our, sort of belt of what we can do here, because a lot of what we do is innovation, because we're working on ultra low budget films and we have to sort of make our way as we go with this, and there's not really a format for us. And I guess having those people in Hollywood that are bigger in the industry helps us to connect what we're doing here and provide a path for the students to be able to go on to making a career out of it in Hollywood. So I think that's been an excellent addition, and it's helped us a ton.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, does anybody have anything that we didn't go over that you want to talk about, or any final closing thoughts? If not,
Yeah, so moving on from Studio 70, there's a lot of like residual feelings, and it's just kind of sad, honestly, to see what I would have considered like a family now just being pulled away by, life moving on, the next chapter of life. And I really am going to cherish and remember all of these kids, no matter how minor the relationship I had with these people. And like, I'll never forget like Mr. Prenti. I'll never forget Mr. DeMoss and how goofy he was, or I'll never forget all of the kids that I met on here, even if they're long gone by now, like Eddie Hunter and Macy and people like that. I'll just, you can't ever let go of the relationships that you made during such like a formative time. And like, I'm still super close with Julian Bonilla, who was a film student a year ago. He's at Columbia now, Columbia University, name drop. And
Yes.
and like, we haven't moved on. We do the same thing that we always did. We're making our dumb videos, we're hanging out, and we're just being buds. And if it wasn't for film, I wouldn't have met him. I wouldn't have grown closer to people like Stuart and you, Chase. And it's because of this studio and what it gives, not only in just experience about film, but experience about life. I feel like I've learned so much about being a person, being a good Christian, and just all of these things coming together. It's really sad just having to let go of this family that I've been a part of. And oh man, the premiere is going to be rough.
oh yeah. I'm not gonna be able to go.
What?
Oh wait, no, to the showcase I will be, not to Iron Dust.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, because you'll be busy.
You can't take off like a day.
You'll be
I'm
like
gonna be on a train
Mr.
going through
USA.
the desert.
Come on, man.
Oh my gosh.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
so I mean, hey, we're gonna have the summer film, at least in part for both of us. I hope you better do at least a couple days.
I definitely will.
You
definitely
have
will.
to. We will greatly
I'll
miss
get
you
you
if you don't.
fired so that you have to.
Yeah,
I'll come for
we'll-
like the fun days.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm also realizing that as seniors, we have such an influence on the younger generation. I know I keep mentioning that, but it's so weird how these relationships that you can make with these younger students and how they will really learn from you and take the best of what you've done, and you can also teach them the worst of what you've done so they can avoid that. And yeah, I've had a lot of stories, but it's really good to see and how we can show these kids how to be a person and how to be a not jerk person, teach them how to not be how to be a better upstanding citizen, I guess. And I don't know, it's just that mentorship is really fun, and that's not really something you can do at college because we're all starting anew.
Right.
But I really hope that at least in like alumni features coming back, I can really just see all of us again together. I think we should do like a short film together, like just get like the class of like 2024 to like 2026, or actually no, do class of 2023 like 26, get that year range, all of us together for like a reunion. We shoot like a stupid film or something. That would be so fun, like 10 years down the line when we're all like old and tired. That would
Old
be
and tired at 28.
Honestly,
That's crazy.
28, yeah, that's gonna be like midlife crisis. I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
Get ready, guys.
Chase is gonna be jacked. We're gonna be all so jealous of him
Yeah.
and his huge military muscles.
Stop it.
I keep going. I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. It's gonna be so sad. I don't know, like, it's gonna be so crazy not seeing like all of you every day and seeing like Mr. Prenny and Mr. King every day. Like every day I come to school, like I try to like leave all my academic classes so I can like go walk around and go talk to Prenny or go talk to King. Like I talk to them like every day, and so it's just like that's gonna be so hard, And, like I have everybody's numbers, so I'll like try and keep up, but that's hard,
It's still different.
Yeah, like I went to I feel like every time you like move somewhere, you say you want to like keep up, but you can't. It's like it's hard, Like I obviously like think we should all like meet up and stuff when we're home, but like I went to like my middle school. I went to different school in here, and like I don't really talk to them anymore. Like we all said we would, but we don't, And it's hard. Like so, I just like, and not that there's anything against that, but I'm just saying like that's like a really tough part for me to like think about, because like I really don't want to like lose like all you guys and lose like Mr. Prenny and Mr. Moss and Mr. King. Like that's just gonna be so hard.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of years doing this, so it's gonna be interesting to see what life has in store for us after this.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that we can see from the alumni that come back, for the feature films and stuff like that, is that we do have that network that we've built up, and it is a precedent for us to come back and spend time with each other. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to stay in touch and that we'll be able to have a continued influence on Kings and Studio 70. But yeah, it is really tough. It's been an amazing few years, and I think we're all sad to say goodbye.
Thanks again for joining us today. If you enjoyed our content, consider subscribing. Studio 70 is a division of the King's Academy, a K-12 private Christian school in West Palm Beach, Florida. For more information, visit studio70.tv or tka.net.
Oh my gosh, I was talking about new hires and I didn't even say Miss Kavanaugh. Like literally, like she's been the best thing like ever.